Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to PostClarityNut versus VanguardTidehunter for the lower brackets of the Clarity League Division 2. Let's see if PostClarityNut are going to be able to bounce back, take this game number 2, and push this on to a third, or if Vanguarders can close this out now. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, PostClarity have maybe just, I don't know, I'm not sure if there's much they could really adjust from that first game that they really did wrong. It was a very, very close game indeed. It was really just down to ability usage and position of heroes, to be honest. So I can't really fault the draft. I can't really default, you know, the heroes and everything. It's just over. It's just how the game went. So we'll have to see if they're going to follow a similar sort of plan in this one, or if they are going to try something a little bit new. But it is the first pick for VanguardTidehunter first. Let's see if they're going to go straight up for that Tide yet again and just chuck that back into the hands of Brainy Gonzo. Man loves his Tide, so I wouldn't be surprised too much. But instead, they're going to lead up with the Lion. Going to be probably back into the hands of Sergeant Average, who did a pretty damn good job in that previous game. He found so many openings onto many heroes with the Hex initiation, either onto the PL or onto the Ember. You know, those were the key two. Even, I think there was one to Ticy done onto Enigma as well, but the other ones were the main sort of targets. But the Ogre Magi is the first pick up there for PostClarity. So pretty safe position 5. Can sometimes see it as a 4. It doesn't feel as good as a 4. But we will probably see it as a 5. I just hope they don't go for the Hand of Midas build if it is a 5. I hate it when 5s do that. Yes, you get the multicast on the Hand of Midas, and that feels pretty cool. You get, you know, double the money, you get double the XP. But you're in position 5. Don't spend so much money on that goddamn crap. I'm sure they won't. This game worked up, man. Got PTSD about that. But even so, what's the last pick up there? Pretty solid position 3. Gives you a good amount of team fight. Gives you a frontline tank with a nice amount of disable, and can pump out a fair amount of damage as well. So just such a well-rounded hero. Also nice if you pair it up with a hero like the Phoenix as well. It gives it a super amount of protection for the egg. So maybe they might have that sort of in the back of their minds and they could be going for that hero next. But instead, the Wraith King appears again there for Vanguard, so that's going to be back into the hands of Real Rue. We did a pretty good job in that previous game. It was, you know, just took a long time to die. Not quite as long as Brainy Gonzo did, but... Oh, actually, I just saw. They banned the Tidehunter first. Oh no, Brainy, you've got to play something new. What's it going to be? What are they going to pick up for his position 3 this game? Looks like they've ran the Centaur a few times in the past, the Dragon Knight. So it could be one of those heroes. We'll have to wait and see what it is they're going to go for, though. Meanwhile, Vanguard just banning out position 1s, taking away the Jug. Probably just going to focus all towards the main picks, position 1s for Clarity, just like I did in that previous game. So probably see... I was going to say the Drow, because that's their next most picked hero after the Chaos Knight and the Jug. But instead they actually go for the Void Spirit. Always a safe ban. Can be pretty damn devastating if the laning stage goes pretty well for him. Able to make so much space and get into the backlines with ease and pick off the supports really quick before any sort of help can come in to respond. So definitely a wise ban. Ancient Apparition also gets banned up there for PostClarity. So despite the fact that John had like no net worth, despite the fact that it was like an hour into the game, they still understood that the hero has just got so much impact. The fact it has global presence, the fact that you can't regen any HP while under its effect is just so goddamn strong that it doesn't matter. You could have a full empty slot of items, but as long as if you land your ultimate, it doesn't really matter. You've done what you've done. Like that's all you needed to do. Everything else is just icing on the cake. So yeah, they pay respect to that. They ban it out. Also the Ricky takeout there from Vanguard. Quite interesting to see that being removed. You'd have to see an axe to split your butt apart. Good lord. I think axe wouldn't be so gentle. He'd do more than split it. He'd just decapitate your cheeks. take them straight off. You'll be pooping on a plate for a while. Also, the Centaur gets taken out there as well. So yeah, just focusing a little bit on more Brady Gonzo as well, as it's their second most picked position 3. Probably looking at the Dota buff page just like I am. 5 seconds. Lightning Circle, better cosmetics. Yeah. I mean, you know, this game is pay to win. If you look better, it means you do more. You have more impact. But I mean, we said that about Epi in the previous game on the Pudge. Unfortunately, you know, he had all the skins, but at the start of the game, he missed just too many hooks. Too many hooks. I'm not going to say that's the reason they lost, but it's all contributory factors, you know. It all adds up. We'll see if they're going to give it to him again. That could be interesting. And then if they have the Pudge and the Ogre Magi, both their supports would just be Giga Tanks. But no, instead they go for a much more safer Dark Willow. I thoroughly respect that. And it pairs up pretty damn nicely with the Mars. Obviously, the Spear sets up for the Bramble Maze super easily. It's just such a strong pairing. It's always been there since Mars got released. And it'll probably be there for a lot longer until one of these heroes has their skills dramatically changed and the combo is just not effective anymore. So they're going to try and just go for some sort of lane dominance orientated pairing. We'll see if they're going to be able to beat it this time. Actually, I suppose PostClarity, they sort of won their off lane last. Wait, no, hang on. I'm thinking of the other team, aren't I? No, yeah, they did. Yeah, Snakes definitely won the lane. They killed the Wraith King like a couple of times in a row. Had complete free farm on the Enigma, and they pushed him out of the lane pretty early. So let's see if they're able to do it again. But there was the abandoned pick up there from Vanguard, so that's going to be the 5 in hands of John. So rather than having that aggressive sort of global presence of the AA, they can have now the save and the survivability that the Abaddon provides for the rest of the team. Because you can always put the shield onto someone if they get caught out from a spear, just purge away the stun. Same way with the Brambles. So he's just going to be sat there behind the Wraith King, and as soon as he sees that spear come out or any sort of like aggression, he's going to immediately chuck that shield onto him and just try and take the blunt force off of him. Maybe so. We'll see what the next pickup here is going to be from PostClarity. Probably be their position 1, I imagine, in the hands of Irreville again. I mean, they could go for the PL. But actually, PL into Mars feels kind of underwhelming because you can always just doppelganger over the arena wall. You want... Actually, no. They're on the same goddamn team. What am I on about? Someone shut me up, man. Talking absolute shite. But that was the Razor pickup, though. So, probably going to be their mid laner, leaving their position 1 for the final pick of this game. With the Queen of Pain. That'll be in the hands of Joel for the mid lane without a doubt. So, you have the Queen up against the Razor, which is always a nice pair, matchup for the Queen, because as soon as the Razor goes for a static link, you just blink away. You don't give a crap about it whatsoever. So, we could just see Madsen just maybe not even bother leveling the Tether for a really long time, the static link. Could just go all points into the AoE plus his passive. And then just focus on those two. We'll have to wait and see. He might still go for a couple of value points if the situation arises where he can actually use it. But just one final pickup left for both teams. And it looks like it's still the position 3 for Vanguard. And PostClarity are after their own position 1 now. But it is the PL that gets taken away. I mean, Vanguard are missing a bit of team fight now. I mean, they've got the scream from the Queen, but it's not exactly the biggest team fight ultimate ability to build your team around. So they're probably going to be looking to have some other hero to lend a helping hand in that regard. Meanwhile, PostClarity, likewise, they've only got the Mars Arena, but there's very few position 1s which really have any sort of big team fight ultimate ability. Unless you go for something like a Terrorblade, perhaps. Because then you can sort of count the meta as like the big team fight ultimate. PostClarity do get rid of the Enigma. So understanding the fact that Vanguard are looking for some sort of big ultimate off-lane hero. Because The Tide's already gone. The Centaur's already gone. Well, the sort of position 3s are in the wheelhouse of Vanguard Tidehunter. It looks like they have picked up the Darkseer before in the past. They played it once. They won it. So we could see this hero popping out. There's still a minute of reserve time left for Vanguard, so really just going to think about what position 1 they want to remove. And they take away the Drow. I could maybe see... maybe a Medusa, perhaps, for post-clarity as they're fine to pick up here for position 5. Because then that also does give them a little bit of extra team fight with the Stone Gaze. And the Sand King is the final thing removed. So we'll see what Vanguard's going to go for as their final offlaner. I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Darkseer, because at least then you could like do like a vacuum into the Earth Spike from the Lion, into the Scream for the Queen of Pain. It can be a pretty devastating combo, especially if the Lion's going to build the Aghanims just like he did in that previous one. But they've still got tons of time to work with, so they're really good thinking about it. And they have ran the Axe a couple of times in the past as well. But they've got 0% win rate with it at the moment, out of 2 games. So, I mean, it's only 2 games. So it's not really like the hugest amount of data to go off of. But you're always going to be a little bit worried when you've got a 0% win rate on a hero. Don't want to put all your eggs into the wrong basket. Yeah, I could see them going for the Darkseer this game. But I mean, then they haven't really got the much frontline tank, then, do they? Well, they could actually go for an Underlord, perhaps. Would the Underlord work? Quite sure. Okay, so they actually go for the Dragonite. It's definitely a tanky frontline that they can have, just to make a little damage barrier. I mean, that's mainly just for the Lion and the Queen, I guess. Because the Queen's going to be hopping in and out of the fights there with her own blink. The Lion, though, is going to be a little bit more susceptible to get gone on and just evaporated, so we'll provide a little bit of help in that respect. But again, it's not really like another big teamfight ultimate, though. It is obviously a big cooldown ultimate with a long duration, but yeah, not really something that has a huge, massive impact. But we'll see what the final pickup here is going to be from post-clarity. So it's going to be a position 1 that can pair up well with the Ogre, laying decently up against the Dragon Knight Lion combo as well. And they're going to go for a Spectre. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I don't think the Spectre would have a perfectly fine time up against the DK and the Lion. Not really too much pressure they can apply onto him. Especially with the Ben just going to be running at him, just making space. And this time, it makes sense if he just runs through him, you know? Because in that previous laning phase where Ben just ran between the 2 of them and nearly died, that was a bit awkward on Shakiro, but an Ogre, he's tanky enough to actually do it. And it makes sense, because you just want to run at the Lion and just right-click him. Force him to just constantly be afraid of you, try and retreat, and use the spells on you, and just make the space for the... make as much space for the Spectre as you possibly can. I think, again, in this mid lane, Joel's probably going to have just a slight advantage. Obviously, like I was saying, the Raze is not going to be able to get any decent static links on him. Or he's just going to blink straight back out. Avoid, like, the entirety of the link. So we'll see if Madsen does adjust to that matchup. I'm not going to bother putting any points into it. You know, the real route might have a little bit of contestant at the bottom lane. Just the pressure coming out from the Miles and the Dark Willow might just make it a little bit more awkward for him to actually get some CS. But you're still going to have the Abaddon sat behind him. Or even just sat in front of him. Just being the one that the other squad actually decides to throw their abuse at. So it should keep him nice and safe. But even still, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2 between Vanguard Tidehunter and Clarity. Wait, hang on. Wait, the full name is... Okay, god damn it, Ogre, shut up. I can't think. Just spamming that goddamn voice line, man. Jeez. Absolute madness. PostClarityNut. Damn, there you go, got it. See, all I needed was a little bit of silence, boys. That's all I needed. Not my fault, I swear. But again, looking like it's not going to be any sort of big first blood play coming out from either squad. Everyone just sat on their own sides of the river. Nobody's going to run at anybody.
30 seconds to
Now, line win rate in pubs is 35%. Damn, that's not very good. That's not very good at all. Sergeant Average, he's just showing that he's a tournament player. You know, he doesn't play for pubs. He's all about getting those victories in these leagues, in these tournaments. That's where his win rate is good. So maybe the Real Roo and John are going to try and contest for this top banner. They've got to be careful. There's 5 heroes here. The stack link there from Madsen's going to run at Real Roo and drain 30 damage away. But I mean, this damage is just going to be gone by the time that the wave starts. So I think maybe they should have had someone else at the front. Maybe if they had Zakes at the front, they could have possibly got like a spear initiation, held the Wraith King in place. But now Madsen's got the he's got static link level 1, which isn't really the best. Joel even starting with blink level 1 himself. Normally you'd see them go for either Shadow Strike to chuck out a lot of harassment, or Scream of Pain, just to guarantee the last hit on the range creep. Where actually was the range creep? Where is it? Was it? Did it die already? Let's see, must have got denial or something? I don't know. I didn't see the range creep. It just disappeared on my screen. Ain't got a clue, man. That's it. Static link and immediate blink out. So, not really going to be any sort of massive impact from that spell this game. Let's see what's going on down bottom. Ben, he's just running around the backline. So he wants to get on top of this lion, but Sergeant Average is doing the right thing. He's just hugging close by the Dragon Knight who can actually give him some help. It's the only way to actually survive just this massive harassment coming out from the 5 Ogre. Just use them as your little damage bot. He's just constantly walking around the back, just like, yeah, you step out, I'm going to whack you. I'm going to whack you in my club. Look, he's just running straight through the middle again. He's running at him. He gets his whack. Oh no, the courier. Easiest courier kill of Ben's life. With the level 2, he's going to try and go on the lion, but there's no mana left in the tank there real well to go for a slow. So he managed to get it. Oh, it's in the mid. Joel, jeez, he's got very, very low there. I'm not quite sure what happened.
nothing for you.
Still 7-3 to Madsen to the 6-1 of Joel. Madsen actually leaves the wave just as the range group gets denied out, so he doesn't even get any of the XP for that one. It's a bit unfortunate. But neither of these two even have their bottle yet. It's the first Water Rune, just as a small little buff. Again, that static link. I think he shouldn't even bother using this spell. It's just wasting his mana. I mean, it's pretty much the same sort of effect, right? Because they're pretty much the same mana values, but the Queen Pain has a higher threshold of mana to actually work with, so maybe it's screwing over a little bit more. We are down bottom. Brainy Gonzo and Sergeant Average are both very low HP in this huge creep wave pushing into the tier 1 tower. So you're going to have to try and pull this wave to bring the creep equilibrium back into their own favour, because otherwise, Irville, you can't really farm that effectively when the creep wave's over there. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Vilru 8-2 at the moment. So exactly the same CS as the Spectre on the opposing side. The Zakes is at the top of that CS chart at the moment. As Masters normally are in the lane phase, they're pretty damn strong. It's difficult to either try and bully him out, or even just see up against him, because he's got very high base damage, plus with the help of the Quelling Blade. A very effective CSer. Which is another reason why he was sort of quite effective when people started playing him in the mid lane. So he was always able to effectively CS against the opposing mid laner. which is always what you need. So Madsen, he has actually put a second point to Static Link. I thought maybe he would actually put a couple more points into Storm Surge perhaps, but he doesn't even bother. But actually up top, the Ruru actually ends up getting taken out there. And John, I guess with this early point into the Curse of Avernus, doesn't have the heal available to actually keep his Wraith King alive. And it ends up costing him. The Bramble Maze there from LP, not on target, unfortunately. John able to walk it out, but Zeke is pretty damn low. He's got to be careful. Dark Realm usage there from LP. Go to the back lane. He's going to focus straight onto John. He needs a couple of right clicks. John knows he's dead, so he just stands there. Nothing he can really do. Ruru wants to try and dive onto the tier 1 tower, maybe. Zake's going to hide himself in the trees. Nothing they can really do touch him in that situation. Still relatively even in this mid. Just a slight lead for Madsen. Both of them getting a fair chunk of denies as well. 7 to Madsen and 5 to Joel. If you look at actual net worth as well, only 40 gold separating the two of them. And it's very rare that you don't see mid laners at the top of the net worth at the start of this game. And both of them are actually behind 3 other cores. It's quite rare to see. But I guess that's just due to the fact that both of these guys have been denying quite a lot. So just neither one of them are really getting a huge amount of farm. Oops, Hex initiation there from Sergeant Average onto Ben, but it's very difficult to get. He's so damn tanky, but Iro even going to charge forwards onto Sergeant Average himself. His stun's about to wear off. It doesn't even need it. The right clicks are alone enough to take him down. And he'll use the Fire Blast just to walk away. Unfortunately, it just takes so long to kill this Ogre. 8 armor starting off the game, which is pretty ridiculous. Because the 860 HP isn't even that impactful. It's the goddamn 8 armor which does the work. Like, if you have a look at the line, he has a base armor of 3. So it really plays quite a huge difference in just that damage reduction in itself. Sergeant Average actually TP into the mid lane as well, just to fill up Joel's bottle. That's some real support magic there. And those are the sort of differences that can actually change the swing of power in the mid lane. Just all it may take is just one support to TP in to fill up that bottle. And it can turn the tides quite easily.
Money changes hands.
It looks like actually Joel's going to make his rotation down to the bot lane here with his level 6. You see Sergeant Average battling out with Ben. And this is probably just going to be a free kill here onto the Ogre. Going to drop the blast to delay this out. But even still, the right clicks alone just be enough to take him as with the dot ticking out. And normally most people would just pop the ultimate there. They'd be like, yeah, I've got the ultimate. I may as well use it, whatever. And just guarantee the kill. But Joel hangs onto it. He realized he can use this in a different situation. I mean, he could TP up the top right now and just blow up Zakes. Like, with the help of the other two, with the Real Roo as well as John, they could have enough damage to actually just take him down. They're actually going to turn around there with the spear, with the brambles, which didn't actually catch onto anything, came in too late. And John's able just to walk it off. But now, because of this little duration where Joel was away from the wave, Madsen's actually a full level on top of him. And Ruru is actually having to just reside himself to farming up the small camp. Not quite going to give you much money doing it that way, but there's too much aggression maybe coming here from Zakes and LP. Zakes is so damn low. Literally, all it would take is one TP here from Joel, and that's such a free kill. Meanwhile, down bottom, they're actually applying a lot of pressure onto the Spectre. John dies up top, but it doesn't matter. The tier 1 tower is actually about to drop down already. Gone at 7 minutes 40 seconds into the game. Ridiculously early time in there. Just the first use of this Dragon form with the catapult as well. Very nice moves there from Vanguard Tidehunter, applying the pressure onto the Spectre, and now everyone just has to go jungle. Like, he can't fall back to his tier 1 to give him any sort of reliable place to hide. So he's going to try his best to jungle up. But I mean, there's a huge amount of vision in this area that Sergeant Average has placed. Well, no, not Sergeant Average, sorry, that Ben has placed. So he can see a lot of movements from pretty much anyone on the side of Vanguard. And they give him a nice amount of safety. And John's actually moved down here himself. He is smoked up. So I assume he's... Oh. They put down the ward, but there's already a sentry there. So yet again, both position ones have been suffering a fair amount at the start of this game. Pretty much identical net worth as well. Only 50 gold between them. But again, both of them at the bottom of the net worth for all of the cores in the game. VanguardTidehunter coming into the mid here with his second usage of the dragon form. Going to start pressuring in this tier 1 tower. There is LP just off to the side. But is this going to be enough to keep this tier 1 tower nice and healthy? Stack field. Plasma field, sorry. Always a nice way just to deep push the wave. We're actually going to get the Bramble connection onto Brainy as well as the Cursed Crown, but there's no other sort of follow-up. Mosaic's actually charging in here. He's actually going to drop the arena with the spear onto the Dragon Knight. That's a very tanky hero. I'm not quite sure if you're going to be able to get this kill. Sergeant Abbot's made his own rotation there with the Hex. Not going to be able to find the grab onto anyone. The Plasma field gets the connection, but it's not enough to finish anybody off. But in comes the Haunt there from the Spectre. Jumping around to and fro. Gets the kill on Sergeant Average. The Scream dodged out. Not doing too much. And Freddy once again pre-led. They're still charging in. The Plasma field collects onto all three. The spear push off the side. Two more people dropping there for Vanguard. Joel able to escape with his own life there with the blink. But John and Brainy, not so lucky. And now the tier 1 tower is going to fall on their own side. Not the way they wanted this whole little move to go. So well, nicely played there from Clary. A nice use of the arena. I imagine that was the first arena. I don't think he'd used it up top yet. And Joel just pressuring out Ben as he'd stuck around for a little bit. Just running out there with the Scream, with the Shadow Strike on top. One more right click and he probably will pay out to the top. Oh no! The spear, it actually missed off the tree! That could have been a kill if they got that latch. Unfortunately, I don't know who put down that tree. It might have been LP. So I think he was the one that pinged it out. That was very, very close. If they got that connection, that would have been such a good kill. Although Irabel's just down bottom in recovery mode, just happily CSing away in exactly the same. Well, I was going to say from Real Roo, but that's Brady Gonzo. Real Roo is still just having to hit the creeps in the jungle. As Brady was trying to pressure in the tier 1 tower with the catapult, but Madsen showing himself here is enough to scare the Dragon Knight away. Sergeant Average still has his first finger usage to go. He's not actually found the target for it. Meanwhile, Ben gets caught at the top. He ends up being a pretty easy kill. Despite the fact he's tanky, doesn't have any way to escape, no survivability.
Dire's top tower is
He's just a big fat man. It takes a long time to waddle away. The Sergeant Average has actually just sat himself down at this bot lane, just farming up against the Spectre. I'm surprised he's not trying to make a move with this finger. Try and get an early point. I mean, with the help, maybe if the Queen TP's up to the top as well, you'd have a couple of heroes you could clap onto Madsen. You'd probably have enough damage to kill him. And they can move on to him though. It's just the Abaddon as well as the Wraith King. They're trying to do some damage. That's not an easy kill to get whatsoever. Pretty much gets a full duration static link as well. 174 damage stolen. And now with the Plasma link, John, he just melts away. There's no way you can escape from that. Sergeant Average also getting picked off out the bot lane there from Irabel and LP. So nice moves from them. But the jump was there from Joel. Couple of right clicks, not even need the ultimate yet again. Just the double damage and the standard Scream was enough to take him down with the help of the Real Roo. And now they might just try and apply some pressure onto this tier 1, but they don't have many creeps. So maybe not really get that much done out of this. The Real Roo's actually hanging around though. We need to be a little bit careful. 3 members of Clary are in the vicinity. Maybe looking to go for the pounce if they can. But he does have his ultimate, so it's not going to be an easy kill. And now, that's something that Clarity would love to see. All 3 heroes at the top of the network. I mean, it was. And then Brady Gonzo just last hit a creep. Oh no! And now Joel got a creep! Uriel, you're falling behind! Well, I mean, pretty close. Well, at least the Razor and the Mars sat at the top too. And now 4 heroes up here as well. They're going to start applying some pressure onto this tier 1 tower. It's just John and the Ruru in the area, but I don't think Vanguard Tidehunter are going to bother trying to defend this. They'll probably just let this go away. Meanwhile, Joel was able to take the tier 1 in the mid. So I think that's a trade they happily take. Tier 1 in the mid, always going to be more effective than the tower on the complete corner of the map. Not really offering that much, to be honest. Obi. Well, he gets the spot onto Joel. I think he just managed to dodge that scream as well. That was really well timed. And with the Bedlam doing quite a bit of damage, with the jump force there for Brady, with the Blink Dagger reveal, probably going to be enough damage to take him. He's going to go for the Screamer. Takes, already jumps in there with the Arena, with the Spectral Haunt as well from Uvel to get the finish. Joel ends up getting taken down. Brady Gonzo, he's trying to run himself out of there. He should manage to get it there with the Blink Dagger. And he is out. But still, that is definitely a trade the Clarity would 100% take, trading away just their support for the mid laner. But meanwhile, up top, it looks like Sergeant Average, he's been caught. Looks like with this, the Stack Link and the ultimate there, the Eye of the Storm is enough to take him down. Brittany Gonzo trying to get the connection, but can't find Ben either. And now Madsen thinking about turning around onto the real Rue. Can't quite find it. Also, Zake's here. But everyone, just with that Dragon Tail, able to walk away. It will just be the S and Y queued up for Madsen next. Already got his dual scepter online. Always a nice item to have on a Razor. Like, you could just stack link someone up, dual scepter them, so there's no way they can escape, whilst the drain just goes on for like max duration. You just get a disgusted amount of damage. Looks like we might have a little smoke play here from Vanguard. Perhaps? I mean, they've still got this finger. Sergeant Average has had this for quite a long time now, and he's still yet to use it. And with the use of it, with a Blink Dagger and the Toe of Dragon Knight, they should just go for a smoke, try and find something. Sure enough, they will. Just these three will go on the hunt. Looks like they were originally baiting out the real Rue there, but not going to be able to find anything. But they do get the spot onto Madsen, farming up the creeps. As they do have a ward here, which just spotted him. They can see him walk back on in. Sergeant Average leading the charge there with the Hex. Jump forwards there from Brady Gonzo. Going to go for Dragon Tail. Actually, no, he mistimes the Earth Spike. The Dragon Tail comes in too late as well. He escapes in the trees. Now the re-engagement. The Terror's going to come out on the top. Three heroes just running into the walls. An absolute amazing combo there from Clarity. Everyone on this side of Vanguard has fallen apart. It's just John left alive with the safety there of his ultimate. But that's not going to keep him alive for long. All three of them end up dying, not find anything. The finger was also used, but I couldn't even find the finish onto Madsen. I think both of them were just expecting the other one to stun. Nobody actually clarified who was going first. Like, they were both just staring at him. Oh, that's something you really don't want to see. And even Zake's going to go for the initiation here onto Joel with the spear back into the tower. The TP there from LP just takes too long to come in. Zake's just getting too itchy. He sat there like, I want to jump. I want to jump now. So now 3k gold lead in the favour of Clarity. The Mars and the Razor at the top of the net worth still. It's only like not a million miles behind are the Queen and the Wraith King, so it's not exactly like there's a huge disparity in this game. But 3,000 gold at 17 minutes, it's pretty much a whole mid-range item, which can be pretty impactful. So I guess they'll probably go for a smoke play now, Clarity, and just make another move. Actually, they'll probably wait like the 200 gold that Zakes needs just to finish up his dual scepter. Just another way of making the spear setup just that much easier. Jumps in just to obliterate the wave. And Sergeant Average, he's not even bothering to go for a Blink Dagger this game. Like, he's going straight up for the 4-star. I mean, he definitely had a little bit of a rougher start, so not quite the early net worth that he would have liked. So it definitely makes sense, but even with the 4-star, it helps you escape the Razor, sure, but you're still going to be slowed by the Plasma Field, you'll be slowed by the Ogre. You can't 4-star through the arena. And now they are sort of lacking another source of initiation. But I mean, they are still probably relying on Brainy Gonzo with his initiation and the follow-up of Joel. We'll have to see how this item choice pans out. Still Yasha there for Madsen, working on towards the Sanders next up. And they're going to go for a 4-man smoke now. All their ultimates online. And Zake's leading the charge. So the other members of Vanguard Tidehunter just on the other side of the lane though, not realising because they've also gone for their own smoke play. And they're actually drawing the line over to the Spectre. They see Iravel farming up here. And he's actually just being baited in by the skeletons. He will finish up killing them though. He's going to hide behind the tier 2 tower. So he reads the fact this move's coming up. Maybe Vanguard know as well. Oh, the rest of the squad, they've scouted out the entire triangle. Nobody is here. So they must sort of have an inkling the fact they're in their own jungle. Neither team being able to find anything whatsoever with this move. Oh, Sergeant Average, got to be careful. We might just end up walking into a serious death trap. Both teams on the complete opposite side. Dire on Radiant, Radiant on Dire. And Clarity just holding this high ground, just waiting for anyone on the side of Vanguard to step out of position and they could easily blow him up. But Brainy, he's actually just going to use his ultimate and start pressuring this tier 2. They got the creep wave, they got some skeletons. And the dagger there from the Spectre though, so you know that he's in the trees. Well, the rest of the squad's still going to rotate around the backside. There's no vision here from the side of Vanguard, so they have no idea this is going on. Actually, from the high ground, I think they just spotted out Ben. The jump was a Brainy. Oh, but then they change places. Zake jumps right behind it. Now Madsen's going to focus up onto the Dragon Knight there with the Mana Drain. The finger also coming out onto the Mars. Wasn't enough damage to finish up with the Yule Scepter as well. Manages to get the spear onto the Real Roo, so he should be able to disengage from this. It looks like the Real Roo's first life's probably about to be over. The jump back in there from Brady Gon, so he wants to finish off the Mars, and sure enough he does. Now the Spectral Hawk come up there from Iravel, but immediately gets Hex up there from Sergeant Average, controlled by the Earth Spike as well. He's going to take a lot of damage on the screen there from the Queen of Pain. Does tons of damage. Ben, he barely managed to survive. They're going to try to the room. The Stag Link! It immediately got cancelled. I don't even know how. And that's going to cost Madsen his life. He ends up dropping down. Ben's going to run off to the side, barely alive. LP's not going to be so lucky. Actually, manages to get the Bedlam as well as the Dark Realm off. Manages to get the finish onto the Lion with a re-engage from Brady. Ruru also jumping over towards Ben. Just that one crit just blows up the Ogre. And LP's going to try and run away. He's so goddamn slow. Is he going to be able to make it? No, he's not. He runs straight into Joel, who gets the finish onto him. So 4 heroes dead there for the side of Clarity. And only really losing Lion. They lost the first life of the Wraith King, but hey, it's a Wraith King. He's got that ultimate. It's not going to matter whatsoever. So nice little fight there from Vanguard. And now it's going to easily be able to finish off that tier 2 tower, which was already just crumbling to pieces. Unfortunately for Sergeant Average, it's yet another finger which doesn't net him a charge. Because that Yule Scepter there to keep him alive just a little bit longer. Well, actually, Joey gets the jump in there to grab the double damage before Madsen, but now he's going to set up for Link. He doesn't have his Blink online to escape from it. And instead, Madsen actually realizes that he doesn't want to overstep his mark. Steals some 90 damage. He's like, yeah, that's fine for me. That's enough. I don't need anything else. The Arcane is there. Sakes is baiting it. He's going to go for the jump there onto Joel. Oh, but the jump was such an average. He blocks the spear for him. Someone take the Arcane Rune. He doesn't pick it up. It allows the Mars to get it. The Scream doesn't even connect onto anybody. It just goes straight into the middle of nowhere. Just evaporating some water. And everybody disengages. Just a trade of ultimates. Nothing really coming about. And for some reason, Brady just didn't pick up the Arcane Rune. He was just staring at it. Oh, the jump was real. He tried to go for the stun. But the high ground vision actually stopped the mid-cast. Couldn't find anything. Actually, the jump forward from Zace. He gets the spear back onto Brady Gonzo. It's a very tanky target with a Stag Link there from Madsen. Actually going to go to the real room, but he can't follow suit. Now it's going to be cancelled. Doesn't he get 33 damage? Brady Gonzo's getting super down low. The special dagger's charging as well. Zace. He's going to try and blow up. The screen also there from the Queen of Pain. Not going to be able to find living. John this time tanks the spear. The supports on the side of Vanguard are just tanking all these goddamn spells. Doing such a good job. The Sake still just charging to the backline with this spear. Finally connects onto the Queen, but it doesn't matter. A double stun this time. Such as the finger blowing up the Spectre. Takes him down. Looks like the DK will finally drop here, but Madsen is getting a long duration still left in the room, but it doesn't matter. Joel rejoins the fight with the Scream. It takes him down. Now the Special Horn coming out. The Real is trying to go for a TP out. Is he going to be able to make it? No, he's not. The Fire Blast there from Ben cancels out, allows everyone to get the finish. Zake's also getting the blow up there on John. Even the Yule Scepter onto Sergeant Average. No escape from the line. He's just going to stand here, and they're playing with their food. And Ben even gets the kill because he just ticks down to the dot. And it looked like it was going quite nicely for Vanguard there, but never mind. Ends up being a 4-for-2 trade. It is a buyback from the Spectre, though, which is quite costly, as well as the death on the Razor. But still, they managed to take the fight successfully. 4-for-2 trade. And just with that nice little grab onto the Wraith King before he could finish his TP out. Actually, a very aggressive TP here from Brady Gonzo into the trees. But immediately, they really gets dropped there from Zakes. They just sort of stun each other. They go in the Brambles, then he just blink daggers out, dodges the spear completely. John pops his ultimate. So Irville has to just disengage, can't do anything whatsoever. Now Ben's stuck in the front. Got to be a little bit careful. But with the Glimmer, should be able to disengage from this. Nice spear back there from Zakes. Oh, Brady Gonzo. He's still on the hunt for more. But again, now the Dark Realm from the Dark Willow. There's so much survivability. They just can't quite find the grab onto anybody. And that's going to be Dragon Form gone for another 80 seconds. So he's got half the duration left, but I don't think he's going to be able to find anything in the rest of this time. Meanwhile, though, the Wraith King is actually sat quite comfortably at the top of the net worth chart. 3,000 gold over the top of Iravel right now. Oh, 2,200, I should say, not 3,000. And he's got his Deso, Blink, Armlet, Mordigian. And he's got the AC queued up as his next item as well. Brady nearly finished up his own BKB. Only about 700 gold away from that. Definitely a good way to avoid a huge amount of lockdown. Joel, just with the Scepter online at the moment. His BKB, about 2,400 gold away itself. But hey, with this Aghanim Scepter, got that, what was that? 560 pure damage with a 40-second cooldown. Pretty damn nice. And only a couple of levels away as well from having it max level. Is this Zakes and Madsen up at this top at the moment? I don't think they quite realise Rilru is just behind those trees. And Sergeant Average sat in the backlines as well. Actually, they spot the Madsen farm up the way. Rilru's going to try and go from actually to run straight into Zakes' head, who pops out of the arena, but he gets stunned before he can do the spear combo. And Sergeant Average just sat there with the finger. Again there, he can't get the finish! He didn't even use Hex! Zakes manages to get himself out there. Meanwhile, then the rest of the squad comes in to try and cut off the retreat. Madsen will get picked off. Iro joins in with the Spectral Hawk, but he can't get a pick off. And now, many ultimates used there from the side of Clarity, not being able to find much. Sergeant Average, he gets every single time these fingers. He's only got one charge. Oh man, it feels so rough. But even still, they're going to move into the Roche pit now. No raise for 28 seconds. And this Roche is dying pretty damn quickly, already down to half HP. I guess they'll probably give the Aegis over to Joel. As Aruru's nearly got his level 3 ultimate already. Oh, actually. Looks like they found a pick off here onto LP. Stepped a little bit out of position. They take him down. They're even picking out the tier 1 tower. Look at Aruru's Ben is just hiding in the trees just there. Joel actually on the hunt for him. But he's already miles out. Looks like Carol pushing into the tier 2 as well. There is a glyph available though for Clarity. With this Bloodlust Tower as well. So goddamn effective. Especially if they just use the glyph and then it will just delete the whole creep wave. Actually, they're not even using the glyph. I guess they just hold on to it just in the thought that maybe Vanguard go high ground here. Because the rest of the squad is nowhere nearby. Madsen, Zakes, as well as Iravel are just all at the triangle. Vanguard have decided to fall back. Actually, they get the spawn to Sergeant Average. He's just trying to farm up something. He managed to get his Glimmer up by the tier 1. And unfortunately for him, he's just dead here. There is actually going to be a couple of TPs coming in. Is it going to be fast enough though? He gets the 4-staff out to control up Iravel. And that's going to give enough time for Brain to come in there with the stun onto him. But the arena comes out, going to try and break some space. Ruru getting the stun as well. With the scream on top, it's going to be a lot of damage with Iravel. He's talking about again. Terrorized, holding them all back. Brainy though is the only one who isn't. He's charging with the BKB, but he's all alone. 105 damage gets chained away. Joel jumping in as well, trying to do some damage with the haste rune. Just flying around in these fights. He's getting caught by the Bedlam and the plasma field. It takes down his first life. Madsen's just going to try and go for the TP out, and he will make it. LP's not going to be so lucky. But Joe, actually, he's found the grab here onto Zakes. And it's going to give enough time for the rest of the squad to get in there. He's actually going to get the Yule Scepter. They're going to try and get it off so he get the big dagger. And he does. Successfully makes it out. And Ben also just juking off to the sides. He's still full HP. And they will keep chase for him. But, I mean, this is just a position 5 Ogre who's just going to be wasting so much time. Even just with the Glimmer, and he's just going to juke himself out. He's actually going to live as well. Oh, actually... Brady finds him! He walks straight into him there with the Dragon Tail. He's like, guys! I've got the Ogre! Come help me! But he's going to use another Glimmer. There's just no detection. Where are your sentries? Where's your dust? Why does no one have detection? It's all on Sergeant Average, who's on the complete opposite side of the map. But Ben's still just hiding in the trees. Got to run on out. He's running to John again! He's still here! He's like, yeah, you haven't killed me yet. Ah, but now they've got enough lockdown. They're just going to commit the Queen Ulm as well. At long last, Ben dies. But he took a long time. That was so much time wasted there. And now it looks like Sergeant Average. I don't think he's going to be so lucky here. Okay. They're scared. I guess they thought that everyone was a lot closer than they were, so they decided to disengage. They probably had enough damage to burst the Lion before. Even still, I think Sergeant Average is thanking his lucky stars. He's actually going next item E-Blade. That's interesting. So he's not even going to bother with a Blink Dagger. Not even going to bother with the Ags. He's going straight E-Blade. I'm starting to see why he has 35% win rate on Lion. I kid, of course. But now, Tier 2 getting beaten into here. The real Rue and Brainy just beating into it. While everyone on the side of Clary's just holding the high ground. Realizing they do not want to take a fight. Not just yet. The Vanguard, they're not going to give up. They're going to start pushing up to the high ground here. Actually, the jump for level 6. He gets the arena onto 3, but they're terrorized onto all 3 of them. Going to make a run to the side as well. The screen. Brady Gonzo off onto the side of the wall. Not going to do that much damage. The screen coming out just onto the Razor, pushing him back just to cancel out the link. They still got 107 damage to the finger. It's enough. They finally get the kill onto the Razor with the finger. The jump from there is trying to get the kill to Brady. He's so goddamn low. The Spectral Horn, they keep in chase with the shield. It's keeping him alive with the heal and everything. The Earth Spike as well. Locking the Spectre in place. The Lion's going to drop the Ruru. He's completely separated from the rest of his team. He's abandoned all alone. He ends up dying. In the meantime, Iro was still able to get the kill onto John all alone against 3 heroes. And they want to disengage with Joel. Oh no, not Joel, Brainy. He didn't disengage fast enough and he gets caught as well. 4 kills there for Clarity. Not losing anybody in return. That lovely initiation there from Zakes. Actually, they did lose Madsen, who bought back, obviously. But still, that's definitely worth it for 4 kills. Just everyone just sort of was too preoccupied with trying to save the DK from the Spectre that they all just abandoned the Wraith King. He was completely on his own. And that's an easy target when he's separated that badly. Despite the fact that he's top net worth, with the AC, just not enough to keep him alive. And the tier 2 in the mid ends up dropping down. Roshan's still at least 2.5 minutes away. So they can't just fall back to that objective. Little move here. Jump force with Jolt. He gets the spawn to Madsen. He's using his blink now. He's going to have the static link on top of him. Draining a lot of damage. Six also going for the replay. Gets the catch on the Sergeant Average. And the scream comes out. Ruru also picking up LP in the background. Madsen's going to try and run away from this. He's so goddamn fast with the plasma field as well. It's making some space. It looks like he will manage to get out of this. Meanwhile, Zakes is just stuck between 2 supports. Like, they can't really kill him. And he can't really kill them either. And now with the inclusion of Real Ruru with the Hex on top. The finger with that like tiny bit of HP, but hey, it's another charge. So they take down the Mars. So 2 quick pickoffs there for Vanguard. Not lose anybody this time. And now it looks like they're going to start running back down the mid lane. Still another minute without the Mars, but he does have a buyback, and Arena is up in 20 seconds. Spectral Horn up in 5. either Storm up in 10. So if they buy back onto this Mars, Clarity are fully capable of taking a team fight. Plasma there just making it difficult to go in the high ground. With just the long range skills getting spammed out. And just like that, they all have to disengage. There's just no real way they could take this high ground without the bonus of the Aegis. Which I think is just going to be their next objective, possibly up in 50. Well, that's if Vanguard are very, very lucky. Well, Brainy was just giving farm over to John then. Then John was like, ah, creeps! And ran away. Pretty much everyone in Vanguard are still grouped up with 5. Actually, a full 5-man rotation here from Clary. Going to start the initiative here onto Ruru. He needs some help. He needs it now. The jump from there for Brains. The backlines holding back the Ogre. And they're destroying the fight, though. Madsen, he's getting a full duration here with this link. 157 damage gets stolen away. Era also jumping onto Sergeant Average there with the Spectral Horn. But it's not going to be enough. Pushing it back there with the Psychedelic Headband. He's still going to end up dropping. And now Brainy's all alone as well. John's going to try and help him out there with the shield and the heals and the curse. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Terrorize also connects onto the both of them. Joel also trying to run down FBB, can't quite find it. And now Joel's put himself into a really awkward position. He's going to blink into the trees. He doesn't have a TP! There's no way to get out of this. He's going to get picked off as well. Another disastrous fight for Vanguard Tidehunter. Losing 4 heroes, not getting anything in return yet again. Roshan up in 38 seconds, so unfortunately there for Clarity, they can't just immediately secure that objective. It looks like they probably have enough time to take the tier 2 up top if they want to. They've got 2 Carties with them. They're all pretty spread at the moment. I mean, LP is just sat in the pit. He's just waiting. Is he going to wait long enough? I'm going to watch as well. All right, 12 seconds. Is he going to move? He's holding his ground. He's holding. He's going to move. He's going to move! He moved! Oh no, he's going back in. Damn it, I was like, I just knew it. I could just sense his agitation. He's like, oh, this is taking so long. He steps out, he goes, no, I should wait. Oh, it's up. But yeah, that tier 2 ends up dropping pretty damn quickly there with the inclusion of the 2 Carties, and immediately the whole team makes the B move straight into the pit to secure their second Roshan, Aegis, Cheese, and Shards. I'm not sure who'd they give it over to. Would they give it over to the Spectre? Given that dispersion? Could be. Well, actually, the re-engage there from Zakes just to push back the Ruru, allow her to be able to finish off the Roshan. The drop was there for Joel. He gets the Ormond to 4, but it doesn't matter. The Roshan's already dead. The cheese is actually still left on the floor. It's the only thing that was abandoned. They didn't see it. Oh no, they did see it, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. The Ruru jumps in, so he's got the cheese. But that was still Aegis and Shard going into the hands of Clarity. So we'll see what they're going to do with the Shard. I guess they just use it on the Spectre. Like, the Mars has already got it. I think the Razor doesn't have it. What's the Razor's one? Storm Surge? So we swap lightning, straight target up to 12 enemies, deals 150 damage and slows them 50%. Seems okay. I'm guessing I don't know. I guess they're not too sure. It's just sat in his back pocket. Does he even know he has it? I hope he knows he has it. This is like why the second Roshan is the most important one in the game. And yeah, they do. They give it over towards Madsen. So yeah, he's got this Storm Surge. This thing's pretty cool. 80% chance of attack and always when targeted with spells. Seems pretty nice, especially like against the Queen of Pain. Seems legit. And Irabel just leading the charge here with this Aegis. Man has no fear. Just running through everybody. Gets the initiative here onto John, who's going to go for the just go for the TP out, but that was never going to succeed. He just gets completely abandoned for the rest of his team, and 100% the wise move. There is no point trying to sacrifice potential lives to try and save your position 5. Just let him drop. Well, looks like they're going to try and pressure out the mid. Oh, Iravel. He's actually gone towards the bottom lane. Oh, but Sergeant Average, he hits the creeps just before he shows himself. That could have been the potential of a gank, maybe. With these three heroes, they might have been able to burst him down. Madsen's also here from the high ground. Vanguard, got to be careful. Actually, Ruru, he's jumping in. He's going to start things off on Iravel. That's exactly what they want. He's going to just turn around. Madsen drained away all of his damage. The first life of Ruru is going to end up going. Zex is also just in the backlines. Actually, he jumps onto the Wraith King, but immediately gets hit by the Scream as well. Ruru's just going to try and stand his ground with the BKB. It's not going to be enough. He still ends up dropping down. Meanwhile, Ben, he's got Sergeant Average and Brainy on top of him. This man is just so goddamn tanky. That's going to give time for everyone to come in. The special one from Iravel gets the kill onto the Lion. Oh, first hit bash there onto Brainy. Going to force his BKB, but another bash holding him in place. The Saglin coming out on top. He can't get the Blink Dagger off in time. Then he's going to charge up the high ground. The Arena comes out. He gets the grab onto Joel. That's going to burst down the Queen of Pain. Gone for 8 seconds. Does have a buyback. But now the Yule Scepter catching Brady's out. Another bash. Another stun. Just so much control for this Dragon Knight. Whacked back in towards the building. He's dead as well. 4 people dead for Vanguard. And Iravel's not done yet. Just charge at John. Realises he has no armor. Gets the double kill. And secures his godlike streak. And now this is going to be a full set of barracks falling in the mid. Maybe even top set. It's still a huge duration. Actually, they're going to go for the end. They're going straight for the tier 4s. They're banking on the fact that nobody has any buybacks. There is some. Probably will be forced out on the Queen as well as the Abaddon. Actually, the Glyph for now will just force them back. But as soon as it's over, they're going to go immediately back onto it. Focusing onto the tier 4. First one down. Second one to the next target. Already on half HP. Are they going to buy back? The Queen has to buy back, right? It's game over if he doesn't. Now they will buy back. But Zex already immediately jumps in there with the Arena to make some space. The nice double stun there from Sergeant Average. Catches on 2. Ruler's trying to focus onto Madsen, but he can't finish him off. And they're just going to keep plowing on into the Ancient. Is it going to be enough to take it down the screen as well? Pushing people around. The finger onto Iravel. They still can't find it. Even if they did, it's just the Aegis. They can't take it. Zex does end up dropping down. Ruler, his first life's going to end up burning away. Iravel's still there. He will come back on into this. Finally, his first life's gone, but John's already dead. Madsen's still alive, but not for long. He gets taken out. And now Iravel with the respawn. He's getting controlled up here with the Hex, getting all his mana drained. There's another stun available there from Sergeant Average, but it gets reflected back. It just stuns onto the Ruru as well. They're changing their targets. And immediately, there is that little shard usage. Gets the kill onto Sergeant Average. The rest of the squad has come back here. All these buybacks paying off. The Ruru dies once again. It's just the Queen and Dragon Knight left to try and defend the Ancient. And it's not going to be enough. The Queen manages to escape. Brainy, not so lucky. Ancient will just get taken down here. He manages to get the kill onto the Ogre at least. But that's not going to make any difference. A nice little counterplay there from PostClarityNut. Taking this game number 2. Pushing this series all the way up to the 3rd game. And a game was... It definitely felt even. Like, not... I wouldn't say as even as the other one. Obviously not as even because the other one went on for over an hour, but still pretty damn close game. It was only a couple of engagements that really went the other way. I think it was just Zakes with so many good arenas. Got plenty of pick-offs and catches onto several members of Vanguard. There was just no way they could really disengage from the fights. And sure enough, they just end up taking it slowly but surely. 41 minutes, 51 seconds. But yeah, very well played to that team. So next game will be coming up in... about 5-10 minutes again, probably a little bit of a break. But yeah, hope you guys stick around.